Nigerians not hearing about arrests of these people, convictions of these people, I think that will do a lot of encouragement when Nigerians know or hear or see that these people are arrested, prosecuted, you know, and then the question of even if you do dialogue, which some people don't agree with, and some are saying that's a failure of government to be dialoguing with an armed robber, you don't do that, you know, after the dialogue you release them, they go back and continue with their trade. We'll just leave it there. But
what are we trying to achieve? Peace, right?
Peace.
Whatever will give us peace, I'm for it.
Okay.
So guys, having run out of strategies on how to stop insecurity in Nigeria, the federal government is now resorting to negotiating with bandits. We've seen their menace across Nigeria in these recent times, especially in places like Kwara State and other places in the north. Now the federal government is now contemplating negotiating with these bandits. Like this headline here says, Northern Elders back NSA urge governors to embrace dialogue with bandits. So the Northern Elders are supporting the National Security Advisor of the Tinubu's government. They are supporting him to go and negotiate with these bandits. So guys, we are really in a total mess. You can imagine a country that negotiates with bandits. That means insecurity will never come to an end, because these people are going to take advantage of the weakness of, you know, the government of the day. Negotiating with bandits is not going to bring the end. It's not going to bring insecurity to a stop. That is my own opinion. But why Nigerians should even worry is because, you know, these people now, when they negotiate with them, they are going to give them whatever their demand is going to be. It might be monetary demand, it might be whatever. You know, recently we saw that the government of the day, even the CDS, came out to talk about negotiating with all these bandits, and not negotiation, I mean granting them pardon, granting them forgiveness. And that strategy, you have seen that it has failed. Now they want to have like a proper negotiation with bandits. So guys, it is even worrisome when you consider the way they treat the people from the southeast. Anybody they catch there in the name of supporting IPOB and all that, they attack terrorists. Sometimes you might end up not seeing them again when they are arrested. But in the north, the Northern Elders are the ones advocating for these bandits to be released, to be granted pardon, to be negotiated with. So guys, for me, I don't think this is a welcome development. Anyway, let me allow you to listen for yourself from the former deputy governor of Kogi State, who has come out to speak to this. He himself, he is in support of it. He said anything that is going to bring peace, even if it means calling bandits to the table, those of them that have fired so many people, they've done a whole lot of havoc, you know. Now it's time for negotiation. Possibly, if you negotiate with the bandits, the terrorists will also want their own negotiation. The Boko Haram and the rest of them, they will equally be demanding for their own negotiation. So the Tinubu's government should just get ready, because you won't negotiate with one group and abandon the other group. But guess what? It is sad to see that the Northern Elders are the ones supporting the NSA to go and negotiate. So the federal government and the Northern Elders are all agreeing that they want to negotiate with the bandits. So guys, let me just allow you to listen for yourself how this former governor has, you know, openly stated why he feels is the best step for now to go. Take your time, watch this video, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification. Now take a look.
And the job of every Nigerian citizen, including the media. We will commend what you're doing by letting us know. You quoted former Governor Peter Obi, one of the presidential candidates in the last elections, as saying when 100 people, it means the country is at war.
Just over a weekend.
I disagree with him. Nigeria is not at war. Nigeria cannot be at war. Even when these figures exist, you won't say that Nigeria is at war, because they are flashes. It's not daily. In the last 3 months, were 100 Nigerians killed in 1 week? No. But these incidences have occurred. How do we deal with it? I think that should be the way forward. That should be the statement that should be coming out from the voices that should be coming out from supposed leaders.
Edward, these are not just numbers.
They are human beings. And that's why I started by commiserating with their families. Because that's great loss. I didn't begin without that. Because if it comes close to me, I'll feel it. We've all lost people. We've all lost people. And we know what it means to lose somebody. But
that's why some say you can't call them flashes.
But to say that these numbers does not also show that there are deliberate efforts by government to neutralize the leadership of these bandits. that existed prior to this government.
Okay, let me support you a little bit, talking about efforts. Let me just support you a little bit.
Very well.
That's
what the media should do.
No, we're doing everything we should do. I hope I have this. Let me just show you. I think over the week, somewhere over the weekend too, Nigerian army said troops arrested 11 terrorists, actually terrorist logistics suppliers,
breaking their chain
in nationwide operations. Now, I have 4 questions on that. Is if it's supporting your argument, you know. One, I put that question across to Mediterranean Kefi. Can we say Nigeria is winning the war in the face of worsening insecurity? B, can we intensify this sort of action? C, what, if any, is stopping more and more of this being done? And what amount of damage do you think this arrest of logistics suppliers can do to your organization, these terrorists? You can take those questions.
Oh, let me start by saying, winning the war. Nigeria is dealing with the root causes of this menace and taking out the top heads of this, I'll call them criminals.
Like the Sarah and Sarah, the 2 of them that were arrested.
Criminals. In fact, I read something, I can't be certain, but I did read something that one of the leaders was neutralized somewhere in Kogi, my state, today. I saw it before I got in here. Okay. So, you know, it's common knowledge, it's logical. When you take out the head, you practically destroy the foot soldiers. And the logistics, like you said, I'm not a security expert.
Yeah.
But I also know that during war, because I'm a voracious reader, so I understand that when you cut off supplies, especially logistics, food, water, medicine, drugs, as the case may be, from reaching the enemy, you will so starve them to a point that when you get your foot on the field and in the battlefield, you will just neutralize them because they would have been weakened, they would have been starved, they would have been depressed, they would have been confused, and you can actually get in and get the job done. So, yes, that arrest of people who are the middlemen of these logistic materials is a great one. In fact, it's a top effort that would yield results in the fight against banditry in Nigeria.
I know that drops of water fill the bucket. I know, we say. But Ali Kefi didn't quite, he just felt 11 terrorists, what is that in the midst of what we're going through? 11 terrorists was just like pinching, like a drop of pee in the ocean. But let's take this further. There are always different ways that I was leading to before to solve a problem. But negotiating with terrorists or bandits, does that not signify a failure of the government to effectively tackle this problem? This is because the NEPG, that is Northern Elders Progressive Group, said dialoguing with bandits is not a weakness.
What's the best global practice?
Don't negotiate with bandits.
There are kinetic and non-kinetic methods.
Yeah, but you asked me global practice, they said don't negotiate with bandits.
You use carrot and stick. It can't be a one-cap-fits-all.
Yeah.
It has to be different means. But the ultimate goal is peace.
Yeah.
Solving the problem. So you use kinetic, it solves the problem to a level. You use non-kinetic if it solves the problem, like they acknowledged that the efforts of Malam Nuhu Ribadu,
the NSA. It was actually a mistake on their part because he did not directly say
that he's
go. No. He talked about non-kinetic, but he did not directly say go. I think in one forum he even said we've always told these people don't pay ransom because ransom means you're negotiating with them.
Not necessarily. Ransom means you are paying them to stop doing what they are doing. Negotiating.
You would have negotiated with them to get the figure you want to pay.
It does not drill down to money all the times. But some people will voluntarily want to surrender for them to be alive and be reintegrated into the community. So it is not always about payment of money. But on their call, they are Northern Elders Forum. They live in that region. They understand the challenges in that region. If they have said yes, what the NSA is saying...
No, not Northern Elders Forum.
Northern...
Differentiate it. It's Northern Elders Progressive Group.
They are all
different from Northern Elders Forum. Northern Elders Forum are asking the president declare not a state. You were a deputy governor before. Yes. He told me when I was interviewing him, he said to me, you know, Ndi, when I say if we say state of emergency, governors will start urinating in their pants.
Security emergency.
Yeah, so they used the phrase national emergency.
I agree with you that that's the opinion of the one group from Northern Elders.
Yeah.
Then there's another opinion from another group.
NEPG.
They are all Northern Elders. They understand their terrain. They understand the pain. They understand what's happening. What they are ultimately seeking is peace. Because once there is peace, everybody is happy. And if you can use both methods and still get back to that target, which is peace, why not? You know how you relate with your children. Sometimes you cuddle them to make them do things. Sometimes you to make them do the right thing. It's two ways leads to the market. I mean, many ways. So I agree with both ends.
Children is oversimplifying it because these are criminals. These are terrorists.
Yeah.
Let's use the correct word for them.
In the past, sorry, I'm not telling you. In the past, Nigeria had used that method and it had worked. Niger Delta region. Recall?
They were not terrorists.
I won't call them terrorists, but they were still people who were disturbing states.
Yeah,
they were non-state actors. And kidnappings were happening. Killings were happening. So it's all death, ultimately.
So you support?
So I support that both methods are ideal. But it must be laid down with laid down rule. It must be transparent. They must carry the community along with them and the governors of the states. I sense a sarcastic statement from that press release when they said not to be using government resources for condolence visits. For crying out loud, people have lost lives. If a governor goes to condole with them, it doesn't mean that he's not doing his job. He's doing his job. But to say you must condole with people, you must commiserate with people, it's just normal. That's what leaders should do. So that sarcasm, I really didn't like that part of their statement.
Or was it sarcastic, really? I think what they were trying to say instead of I think they were talking about being proactive. Let's deal with this issue, so we don't have to go start condoning.
In that regards, I would say the NSA, the security architecture, must work hand in hand with the state governors.
Yeah,
and forge a common front to dealing with this issue once and for all.
What do you...
A matching order that Mr. President has given to all the security chiefs.
Yeah, what do you even make of the fact that some are saying that state governors are not living up to the expectation because they are supposed to be the chief security officers of their states and they pay them security votes? You are formerly a deputy governor.
Yeah.
I hope you're not going to start defending your constituency. But that's the talk. You've heard it. That are not doing well enough. Even though I will say this, Governor Rada of Katsina, after 2 years of debate or sealing a peace deal with the bandits terrorizing farming communities, has finally confirmed negotiating with bandits.
If it's going to bring peace, why not? When you talked about me being a former deputy governor, I would say this. You know, if you've not won the shoe before, you will not know how it pinches. So people can actually sit at the comfort of their homes and denigrate the governors like they do nothing. But I can tell you, no governor, as a chief secretary of his state, will sit idle and watch people being killed under his watch. No governor. No governor. I would say they are doing their best. They should do more in collaboration with the center to get this job done.
The talk again is that the question of procurement of this
hardware
that I mean, that's the talk, that authorities, whether it's governors at this federal level or whatever, are merchandising the issue of security and not really dealing with what do you say to that?
I would say that talk is cheap, really.
Yeah, talk is
cheap. And matters of security and procurement on security are not the things you put out in the open. Because the enemies are watching. And by this, and when I say the enemies, the bandits, the terrorists. But to a large extent, from our budgets, starting from the national budgets and to some budgets of states, I think they have allocated substantial amounts to deal with insecurity.
But is it being used particularly for the purpose for which it was procured or allocated?
Unless evidence is show otherwise, I would say yes.
Then why are we still having, I mean, some questions people will ask, why are we still having this question of killings here and there? Now, some have criticized governors who claim to have intelligence on the movement of bandits but failed to share such information with security agencies, describing such behavior as irresponsible propaganda. That's what the NEPG is saying. And you would take that along with this talk from Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal. He says banditry would become a thing of the past he was even talking about the state if he had direct control over security agencies, because he says he has tracking devices and knows where all the bandits are. He monitors their movement on his phone. Two issues here.
I know.
One, technology. Use of technology to deal with this issue. Two, state police.
You took the word out of my mouth.
Yeah, so go on. I mean, the president alluded to that. He says they will work out a framework with National Assembly. Former Nimasa DG, I've forgotten his name now, says if you make the question of state police a constitutional matter, we'll have a problem. I don't know what your take is.
First, let's agree that there needs to be collaboration between the states and the center.
It should be taken for granted.
And also the local government executive chairman.
Yeah.
Every insecurity happens in the grassroots, locally. It goes without saying that there are still suffocation on the effectiveness and efficiency
of the local government.
At the local government levels. It goes without saying. So I would say whatever matrix governors use, you know that inflation has set in to an extent. What an X amount can do 4 years ago, that amount cannot do it today.
And it's the APC government that is causing it.
No, and I'm saying
it
with
is.
The increased funding, where local government and state funding has risen from what it used to be before this government to almost times 3 and 4, it gives you a big bucket to use from. So as a governor, you allocate more funds to dealing with security issues in your state. Yeah. And also, whatever matrix you are using, ensure that the Ministry of Local Government and those who control your local government also allow some level of funding so that those who will deal with the issue before it rises are equipped with the right tools, the right funding, and the right network to get the job done before it snowballs.
I had an interview with a young man.
So if formerly local government chairman or some of them get like X, then make it X times 4.
Yeah,
it will help.
Exactly what I was trying to allude to. He said that one of the challenges we have had over time in Nigeria concerning dealing with insecurity is the fact that we have not, how do you say it in my university? Is it postulate? We have not moved forward. We have not gone with the times. That we're still dealing with this insecurity the way we used to do it way back, because things have gone expensive. The need for, he talked about adequate training of the soldiers because of the times. You need to upgrade. Yeah, you need to upgrade, their training, procuring. Why is it that even the terrorists seem to have
some advancements
in terms of equipment? And then our soldiers, I don't know what to say, they're not as equipped as them, or I don't know.
I think I would not know the arsenal that we have, but I do know that in recent times, this government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu have tried to upgrade what was available.
How about technology? You didn't address that question.
Yeah, technology is everything now. Technology is everything.
I mean,
and
based on what the governor of Zamfara State was saying.
The successes of the NSA and the other security outfits is not without the use of technology.
So do you think then that we should get this, because what he was referring to actually there was give me power. Because the governors complain that they cannot give directions.
And Mr. President is also aligning with their line of thoughts.
With their line of thoughts.
Because he wants to get the job done. Peace and security is what he promised Nigerians. That is what he wants to deliver.
Edward, Governor Ahmed Ali of Sokoto State, he directed security agencies to treat anyone found to be an informant the same way they treat bandits. How does this resonate with you?
Bandits can't operate effectively and efficiently without information.
Do you agree with him?
What that means is that whoever it is that gives that information has done even worse, much worse than the bandits.
Yeah.
So if the punishment is same way,
you agree with him?
Absolutely.
But General Kafi raised an issue. He said, this country, there's the danger of stigmatizing people when they didn't do anything. That's one. Then there's the danger, that was one he talked about. I've forgotten the second issue he raised about dealing with how do you make sure that justice is not denied? How do you make sure that this person
that you have been
the second one I remember now is under duress. Some of these people give information under duress. I don't know how true. Not I do not know. I know. My neighbor had his brother kidnapped in Kanu State, and she told me that some of these communities are under bondage. That these bandits or terrorists have come into their
overlords.
So why can't we deal with these issues? How can we allow communities to be taken over by bandits or terrorists, as it were, in this Nigeria?
It used to happen in the Northeast, but today it is no more. And I believe that with the continuous, renewed effort by our security agencies, that will be a thing of the past. I do not agree. I'm not okay that yes, some communities are still like subservient to these criminals. And I believe those who are saddled with the responsibility of dealing with that menace are getting their intelligence, and it will be a thing of the past, just like it is now in northeastern Nigeria, especially Borno, Yobe, and Adamawa.
Security experts say forest and porous borders are major threats and call for tighter surveillance in Niger, Kwara, Benue states.
I agree, absolutely.
Why are our borders porous? Now,
I think more use of technology would help us to secure our borders more effectively and efficiently.
Edward, do you think that the government, both at the federal and the state, because like I said earlier, these are people we're talking about, fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters. Do you think that the government, both at the federal state, are taking the issue of this, are taking the issue of the security seriously? The political way to really, that's why Obi is saying, we're almost at war. Emergency, NEF is saying emergency so we can deal. I mean, the issue of politics comes in because what Ali Kefi was saying was that emergency will mean the constitution goes down, the state apparatus, and then, so, I don't know. The politics comes in. Do you think we have that?
I'll reiterate again. His Excellency Peter Obi should do more of being a statesman than trying to, will I say, insight. Let me use the word.
How can you say insight? When we are raising when he's raising
a security issue, I know.
Yeah.
And he's been a governor before.
Yeah.
And issues around security he understands.
You want him to pat the government on the back?
No, I'm not saying so. But you see, it's been too constant of data and statistics. Leadership and governance does not boil down to that. Some empathy. In southeastern Nigeria today, I'm sure you know what is happening there in relationship to issues. But he seems to be numb when those things occur around that axis. So the point is,
he talks.
You need to be more, let it be consistent, rather than you know what I'm saying. But like I said, politics. No, this is not, no, and I'm saying people should not politicize it. They should empathize. I appreciated him wanting to visit a state because of issues like this. And like I said, it's duties for everybody, whether you are in opposition, whether you are in the ruling party, APC, whether you are in government, whether you are an ordinary citizen. It's the job of everybody. Security is the job of everybody.
Now, just before I let you go, Nigeria and US reaffirm partnership on smarter firepower, civilian protection. How far-reaching is this partnership? How far can it go to help us with this issue of insecurity?
If that partnership would give us the right tools to equip the state's toolbox to dealing with insecurity, then we'll go for it, optimize it, and deal with the issue. Because what Nigerians want to see, feel, and hear is that the matter of insecurity
is dead.
You can't say dead. It
At least
globally
reduced to the barest minimum.
Let it be seen and felt. And yes, some states are getting it right.
And then there's also
Northeast is now almost, like I said, not what we used to know. So,
and then there's a question of Nigerians not hearing about arrests of these people, convictions of these people. I think that will do a lot of encouragement when Nigerians know or hear or see that these people are arrested, prosecuted, you know. And then the question of, even if you do dialogue, which some people don't agree with, and some are saying that's a failure of government to be dialoguing with an armed robber, you don't do that, you know, after the dialogue, you release them, they go back and continue with their trade. We'll just leave it there. But
what are we trying to achieve? Peace, right?
Peace.
Whatever will give us peace, I'm for it.
Okay.
So guys, you have seen it for yourself. These are the things we are talking about when it comes to leadership in this country. The level of leadership failure. Anyway, today I made a video in the morning where I talked about the former lawmakers are asking Nigerians to allow Tinubu to complete his 8 years. It's not about capacity, you know. It's all about Tinubu should complete his 8 years for the sake of fairness and is it equity or whatever, unity. They said Tinubu should complete 8 years, not because Tinubu has the capacity. You know, not because Tinubu can save Nigeria. You can imagine what it will look like. How is the news going to carry this when it starts? That the government of Nigeria is negotiating with bandits, and you know these bandits, they have a different kind of heart. You negotiate with them today. Tomorrow, if you don't meet any of their demand, they are coming back again in full force. And then you start a fresh negotiation. Next tomorrow, you don't meet their demand, they are coming back. They will see you as the one begging them. I'm just wondering what it will take the federal government to set up community police, and especially in the north, to eradicate these bandits. And to set up a kind of, to make sure that our boundaries are well protected, because some of them might come in heat and go back to all these neighboring countries. I'm just wondering, that Ahmed gave clue on how insecurity can be stopped. That there are the kind of cameras you will mount. These people cannot have any hiding place. Why are we not thinking about that? Going to negotiate with the bandits, do you know how much they are going to charge you? Do you know how much they are going to charge the federal government? You know these people, they don't negotiate for nothing. And no matter the amount of money you give to them, once that money runs down, they are coming back again to make another fresh demand. Now, the federal government cannot even meet the demand of ASU. Recently, we saw many people were preparing to go on strike because of so many demands, like this ASU. The demand that was, as in the negotiation they negotiated for years, has still not been met. And instead of the government to be thinking of channeling their energy towards that, they are now thinking of going to negotiate with bandits, and it's not going to bring Nigeria any good that you negotiated with bandits. How are other countries going to see you? Will investors be confident in coming to invest in Nigeria, a country that negotiates with bandits, instead of you to go all out hard? Look at Egypt, the man in power now. When he came in, the Brotherhood was the one in power, you know, in Egypt, and it was like terrorists were having upper hand in Egypt then. And this man went ahead, he went after them, brought them down. Now, Egypt is a place that, you know, people will go to visit, enjoy, stay, do businesses. But in Nigeria, the reverse is the case. They want to negotiate, Leadership failure. And still, Tinubu wants to come back again second time. To do what? To do what, Nigerians? To just do what? That is the question everybody should be asking. He cannot, there is no buying of people that you have seen Tinubu come out on the television to sympathize with Nigerians and to tell Nigerians, this is what I'm doing to stop them. You know, these people have been buying people almost on a daily basis. They've hijacked this country. By the time you start negotiating with them, I hope you will negotiate with them in the south and negotiate with them in the north and negotiate with them in the or in all the geopolitical zone, or is it just in the north? So guys, I've not seen this kind of failure of leadership. When I say failure of leadership, and the most painful aspect is when you look at the way the southeasterners are being treated. We all saw how they went all out in the southeast by so many young promising people in the southeast in the name of they were looking for known gunmen. Under the Buhari's government, even under the Tinubu's government, the southeast has suffered a whole lot of losses. And now in the north, the northern elders are the ones telling the government negotiate with these people. But in the southeast, the leaders, the elders are the ones telling the government to come and arrest, the young people there. We all know how the agitation started. Gap. You don't carry the southeast along. They felt there was a big gap since after the Biafran war. Instead of the federal government to negotiate with them, okay, yes, a war ended. How do we solve this problem? They now start tagging them as terrorists. People who are agitating for secession, you tag them terrorists. Now you see them as terrorists, and then you want to negotiate with northern bandits. So guys, this country is not balanced at all. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification. Thank you.